The Egyptian military as well as Greek officials now say that debris has been found from Flight 804, and an oil slick from the plane may also have been spotted by the European Space Agency in the Mediterranean. So much of the focus now on the cause of the crash and whether U.S. travelers should be worried. Is there a connection to terrorism? To help us answer that question, Georgia Congressman Lynn Westmoreland joins us right now. He is in Atlanta, a member of the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence. Congressman, thank you so much for being with us. I want to ask right off the top, have you been briefed on this incident?
Well, the only thing we can really comment on is the open source information that is out there, but we have been receiving some information periodically about it.
Sources had been telling CNN over the last 24 hours that the initial suspicion, the initial theory, the initial belief among U.S. officials is that terrorism was likely involved. This is based mostly on the circumstances, not hard evidence at this point. But is that the sense you're getting as well?
Well, you know, from a common sense standpoint, you know, if something's going wrong with your car, whether it's the brakes or, you know, transmission or whatever, you have a little bit of warning. We had no communications from the pilots about anything. So it does make me think that it was a catastrophic event, that nothing, you know, was heard from the pilots. But the thing that concerns us the most is this radical Islamic terror groups, and whether it's Daesh or Al Qaeda or whoever it is, they have become pretty good at tradecraft as far as infiltrating organizations and companies. And so, you know, Europeans especially, they don't know how many people have gone to Syria or Iraq to join these groups and then come back home. Now, the Europeans, I'm sure, have surveillance or at least suspicions of some of those, but the ones that they don't know that have come back is what concerns me, and the fact that they are getting so good at infiltrating, establishing a good tradecraft, and we have to be on our toes when it comes to that. I think we do a fairly good job of with our TSA, but what we've got to worry about, because we have hundreds, if not thousands, of flights coming from Europe in here, and that seems to be kind of the MO of what's happening with some of these planes that are disappearing and crashing, especially over water. Because being over water, it does erase a lot of the fingerprints that could be on there, because, you know, when we get one on the ground, such as the one that crashed in the Sinai in Egypt, we were able to reconstruct that.
Congressman?
Yes.
Have you seen any evidence at this point? You raised the speculation that maybe Charles de Gaulle Airport in Paris, there had been some level of infiltration there. Is there any evidence you're aware of that that's the case?
Sir. No, sir. There's not any evidence of that, but I'm sure they're running every person to ground that had anything to do with that airplane in probably the previous 2 or 3 legs of what that trip had.
Congressman, are you concerned that there are vulnerabilities, or the same vulnerabilities you're talking about in Europe, at U.S. airports?
Well, I do think that since a lot of the airlines have gone to contracting their, you know, whether it's their bag service, the food service, the cleaning of the plane, some of those things, that I just hope that our airlines are making clear that when security checks are done on these people, that they're carried out properly. And as you know, the last check we had some criminals that were working at some of these facilities, even the TSA. So I think we have to do a little bit better on the background checks of these people that actually have contact with the planes that we're getting on and flying every day. We owe that. We owe that to the flying public and to the crew members.
No question about that.
Fly these things.
Vigilance is required all across the board here. Congressman Lynn Westmoreland, thanks so much for being with us. Appreciate it, sir.
Thank you, sir.